Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. Remember that book, everyone? Hi, we're about to get started. Where is everybody? Hello from Stone Ridge. This is what I'm going to do. Hello from Stone Ridge. We are getting rain here, which sucks terrible because it was snowing and wonderful previously.
We got big rain going down here too, but we're on the coast, so we expect it. Just sort of normal for us.
Yeah, here it's like poopaloo. My husband's very upset because his ski tracks are going to get 86th. And these are high-class problems. Come on in, folks. Where are you joining from? Let us know in the chat. I'm Kate. This is David. We're going to do something super fun here. Everybody get sorted. Seattle. Hey, Lee, how's it going in Seattle? Awesome. You and David are in the same time zones, right? Are you in that? You're far away,
Yep.
David, right? Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Omaha. Oh, awesome. Hey, Brandon. What's going on in Omaha? I don't know if we've ever had anyone from Omaha before. It's pretty cool. Detroit. Yeah, James. Madison. There. Oh, look at this middle of the country people. Yes.
Michigan.
That's awesome. Hi there, Chris. We got Bob, Charleston, Ben, Michigan. Sweet. Oh, all right. Yeah, more Canada. More Canada, please. Really. While we're just letting people hi, Allie, settle in here. What's up, Ankit? So David did the nicest thing. He put out on social spaces, all the spaces, and he asked people to recommend charities. And he was like, listen, instead of like buying wine and cheese this year, we're going to donate to, the places you guys recommend. And so I got an awesome message from my local food bank that David donated some money to people who really need it this year in my name. And it's the only time in my life where I've been glad that somebody donated to a charity in my name, because normally like that's kind of an annoying gift. Let's be honest. Like for your wedding, someone's like, I donated in your name, and you're like, really? But it was really wonderful and touching, and it means so much. So thanks for doing that, Mister.
Thank you for putting forward such a good cause. We had 10 different. The deal was we were going to donate to 10 organizations. We must have had 100 suggestions, and then whoever got the most likes and thumbs up were the ones we ended up donating to. And consequently, groups that we would never have even known about came onto our radar, and we got to help out organizations all over the world. So it was really an exciting thing for us to do.
Yeah, pretty classy, folks.
No one needs more cheese. Boom.
It's true. I know. It's true. We don't need more cheese. All right, guys. So we're going to get started. It's 10 minutes. We always go over because we can't help it, but we're going to try to stay on today. I love seeing all of you, especially this close to a major holiday. So it just makes me feel like we're not alone in the world, because it's feeling lonely. This is crazy ash shizzle. But welcome to, what do we call this show? How to Position Anything with my friend David Allison. I'm Kate Lee from Lately. David's going to take it away here, but if you haven't heard of Valuegraphics, you need to change your entire mindset, stop marketing to people and selling to them based on demographics, and understand what values they have in common. And when you know that, everything is going to change, right? So David is consulting the Model UN right now, because this is actually life-changing. It's game-changing. I don't know what's bigger than that. Galactic changing, something like that. So David, will you take us away, educate us, and then we're going to reveal the word of the day shortly.
The word of the day. Yes, I'd love to. And so just to build on what you said, you're right. I mean, demographics have still got a use in our world. It's still good to know that hair barrettes are probably not going to sell to a whole lot of guys, but maybe a few, but mostly girls. And so you still need to understand some demographics, but within those demographics, we then try and think that that's somehow going to give us information about what those people are about. And if I need any further proof, I mean, let's just talk about millennials and avocado toast. I mean, what a ridiculous, that whole meme was just so nuts. And now we're poor Generation Z, we're starting to pick on them like they're some kind of hive mind. They're all alike and they're all going to behave and feel the same things. And it's just such nonsense. So here's my quick little intro. It's a really cool thing when you sit back and think about it, that every single organization on earth exists to do the same thing, which is to convince a group of people to do something. That's really all we're here for. Even the biggest corporations of the planet, they're all about trying to convince a group of people to do something, buy our product, buy our service, love our brand, donate to our organization, whatever it might be. So the question sort of becomes, how do people decide to do things so that we can intervene in that process? And if you go to all the human behavior sciences like sociology, neuroscience, psychology, they all disagree on pretty much everything except one thing, which is values. What we care about is how we make decisions about everything in our life. There's nothing that any human being has ever done in the history of humankind that hasn't been because it had something to do with what they care about. We all care about some things more than others. And so we do things that are going to help those things we care about instead of the others. Nothing's ever happened except for incremental change based on what people are chasing, what they care about.
Totally.
So there's only 56 things. This was the big jaw dropper for me when we started digging in and building the world's first database of what everybody cares about, was there's only 56. So now it's math. Now you can just go, okay, these few are the ones that apply in this situation. So let's all talk about those things and everybody will care about it and they'll do what we want them to do. They'll get engaged with what we want them to get engaged with.
As you're saying this, by the way, I feel like every teenage boy would have liked to have had this information when they were trying to figure out like
all kinds of things that teenage
how
boys
to crack the codes.
Teenage girls too, because
yes.
demographics,
right?
So and old boys and old girls and all kinds of people. Demographics yes. don't matter. So really, what it all boils down to at the end of the day is if you can figure out what it is that you're trying to get people engaged with, what you've got, and what it is they want, and you find where those overlap, that's the sweet spot. And there's only 56 sweet spots. There's only 56 things. And we're going to talk about one of them each time we get together for these 10-minute webinars. So,
all right, everybody. David, what is today's sweet spot word of the day?
You were queued up so perfectly for that. That's perfect. Today, we're going to talk about happiness. One of the 56 things that drive people to make every decision, certain people to make every decision in their life. We're not all motivated by happiness, but enough of us are that it's an important value. And it seemed like the right one to talk about a couple of days before Christmas while we're making this.
Isn't it amazing that we're not all motivated by happiness? Like that, doesn't it seem like it would be universal?
You'd think, but it's interesting when you ask people to, through all the, smarty pants methodologies that we use to figure this out for the whole planet, for 180 different countries, what is the most important values to different people in different parts of the world? Here's what it looks like. Let's start right in the middle where I put all caps and bold. Around the world, happiness is 32nd on the list of 56 things that people care about.
It's shocking.
31 other things people care about more than happiness. And it's only 27% of the population of the planet that actually has happiness as one of their core values. Now, we just kind of pop around here a little bit, look right under that. United States, 26% of the population says that happiness is one of the things they chase. That if you try and connect the dots between your product or service and say, this will make you happy, 26% of the population will go, cool, I'm in. The rest of the population goes, I got other shit I'm looking for, other things I'm paying attention to. I found this all kind of disconcerting. I thought that by using happiness as today's value just before the holidays like this, it would be a really good, warm, fuzzy message. And instead, it turns out that it's just not that big a deal. I mean, it's still, if you look at the world, it's like a third of the planet. That's a lot of people who have happiness as a core value, but it's only a third of the planet. What are those other 2/3 of the people all about? Not about happiness. That's the point of today's thing. So I don't know. It's interesting to see Africa, how low it is. Only 9% of the population is.
I was just going to say, like, my jaw is dropped, as you pointed out before. Yeah, because it just seems like so if I'm being uninformed, I'm sure, but like you would assume that countries with the most poverty would be the least happy and then would want happiness the most, right?
Yeah, that might be an interesting way to look at this. I mean, if we look down the list, though, the Middle East is certainly not one of the poorest countries in the world.
Right.
The second one from the bottom. Europe is up there with the rest of North America. But look what happens when you take the United States as its own, is 26%. You add it to the rest of North America, which is Canada and Mexico and a bunch of other places. There's something like 17, nobody knows this, but 17 countries that make up North America. You put them all together and suddenly we're at 38%. So overall, North Americans are far more interested than just the folks from the United States of America. So I don't know, it's a really interesting thing. There's 2 points to take away here. One is, if you can find a way to connect your product or service or brand to happiness, you've got, let's say for the United States, 26% of the population of the United States will go, that's what I'm listening for. I'm all over that. Let's run. And 26% market share, if it was that blatantly obvious and clean and easy to do, is nothing to sneeze at. If you can get 26% of the population to run towards your thing, it's worth understanding if happiness is working in your favor or not. But the big message I want to leave with today is around this particular value. This is something we should work on, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, so before, I know I'm already doing what I said I wasn't going to do. I just want to run a little bit late because I just want to apply happiness to a scenario, just so people, because I don't think it's going to be obvious. Like, so if you were going to sell to a group of people who prioritize happiness as their thing, and you want to sell them, you know, a steam shovel, I don't know, like what?
You come up with the weirdest things.
How about gummy bears? Something
Gummy
like
bears.
that.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, that one's fairly easy, right? I mean, it's you might be tempted if you're the gummy bear manufacturer to talk to people about how these are like, I know this because I have a bit of a gummy bear problem. I'm a happy gummy bear addict. They don't have any fat. So, you know, you might think that it's about talking to them about if you're going to eat candy, this is a health and fitness play around gummy bears. But what this would say, if you know that your target audience is keen on happiness, you got to say, you know what? Nothing makes people happier than a mouthful of gummy bears. And just being able to connect those dots that way.
On the smile.
You decided to say about gummy bears, 26% of the population of the United States would go, that's the candy for me. I'm going to do it.
Right. I was thinking of have a Coke and a smile. There you go. Right. That's the same thing.
Absolutely. So that's an interesting one to talk about. Have a Coke and a smile. So there's some promise of happiness there. There's also some sense of generosity in that statement, which is another one of the 56 values. So that's one of the things about these 10-minute webinars we do. We're trying to make it all sound like it's just one word, but it's actually always going to be a combination of words in the more complex world. And speaking of which, here's something that everybody is welcome to do. This is a chart that our friends at Visual Capitalist built that shows all 56 values. And then they went down through this chart. It's too big for me to show you the whole thing, but there's all the detail about some of the stuff they thought was really interesting about these 56 values around the world and how they all interplay and relate to each other. And then the World Economic Forum picked this up and published it. And anybody who wants, who's listening today, can go and download a copy at valuegraphics.online/lately. You can have that. And it's going to get some thought starting and maybe some cool conversations over the Christmas break with your rellies or whoever you're allowed to be with this year around values.
Awesome. So let's do that. And then the guys are just putting the link in there. Thank you, Katie, and everybody for doing that, to both the book and to where you can go look at all the values. And so we talk about one each week here. I'm always shocked. I don't think we've never not been shocked yet by the things that certainly different countries value, or how to go about using that value once you know your customers care about it, and talking about something with that in mind. So David, you are always opening our eyes in this way. I really want to encourage everybody here to this is not a nice to have, like this is an essential way to really rethink how you're marketing, to talk to your customers about what they care about, and to readjust. You know, for you guys, we know that a big hot point for our customers of value is community. We know that, right? And so we work very hard on making you feel like you belong.
Yeah.
Tell me how I'm doing, right?
Yeah, those are absolutely far more important, as it turns out, across the board than happiness is. Perhaps people find forms of happiness in those other values when they find them that they're being met. But that's where sociology and sociological data gets really interesting. It's not so much about the answers, it's about the questions. So the question to anyone who thinks happiness might be playing a role in helping them with their marketing and their copywriting and their advertising and their outreach is, how can I connect the dots more cleanly between what I would like people to know about and how I'd like to engage and happiness? How can I make that an obvious connection? We use gummy bears. It's easy. I was thinking this morning when I was getting showered and washing my face and stuff so that I look pretty for you, about towels. It's like hand towels. It's like, maybe Kate will ask me about towels, but no, I got steam shovels.
Well, you know, on that on that note, by the way, so here's what makes me happy about towels. I like white towels specifically,
yeah.
and I like soft towels and a certain kind of soft towels, soft, fluffy, but not the kind of wet. There's that kind of like over fabric softener towel. I don't like that, but I love the smell of bleach. That makes me happy because there's some comfort there that I know it's
So
clean,
towel
right?
manufacturers would likely be coming at you and saying, I don't know, what's a towel manufacturer going to say? Our towels are made and they're super soft and they're made out of cotton and it's recycled cotton and it's environmentally friendly. And they're where really, if they knew that happiness was one of the core values that was driving the decisions and behaviors and emotions of their target audience, they shouldn't be saying any of that stuff. They should be saying, what makes you happier than a warm, fluffy, perfect towel when you get out of a shower in the morning? Don't you want to buy our bundles of happiness? That's what we have for you. Bundles of happiness.
Bundles of joy. Yeah, it's true. And I love even just when they show someone on the TV smelling with the smile, right? You know, there you go. Let's see this. I like this one a lot. All right, we got to split. I think the question that you're going to ask us all to do, and I'm going to jump the gun here. Oh, Jeff wants to know what software for the split screen thing. So Jeff, we'll have Lauren. So you know, but it's because it's a longer conversation. We've asked also. Is my internet connection messed up here? Can you hear me?
No, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. So let's figure out how can we put more happiness in? That's the big question, right?
How can we get more happiness? Values don't change very rapidly. And when I found how little importance was being placed on happiness around the world, I decided that today's message should be, the big takeaway is, it's not going to happen quickly, but if there was ever a season in a year that needed to have some more happiness, this is it. So why don't we all go away off to our holiday celebrations and think about how we can bring more happy into our lives and into our world and into our communities and the people who are important to us. Let's focus on happy for 2021.
I'd like that. Thanks a lot, David.
Yeah,
So
listen,
happy
promised
New
everybody
Year.
a surprise.
Happy
So
Christmas. What's this?
Merry Christmas.
There's happiness right there. You're the best. I love you so much. It's so wonderful. Oh my God.
Your composure, Kate. Let's sign off.
I can't do it. Happy everything to all of you. Thank you for being our friends. Love you. Bye.
Bye.